Hello and welcome to the DFS PhD show for today, the 20th of November. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us, I guess. I mean, I did well in one of the things I did yesterday, but really, I did really bad on FanDuel because I was panic swapping and wound up with way too much of Merrill, the first value of the day, and stuck on that instead of Connect, which is where I would have gotten if I had left my Collins leans. I didn't really see that happening. There's a step where when somebody gets ruled out, like Cam Thomas did, you can click, like, it didn't rebuild all the lineups, so you can click the little arrow thing, or you can click the other button, the commit button first. And I click the commit button, and then I click the zip button. And I think it might have not committed before it. Anyway, I didn't want to have 80% of that Merrill play on FanDuel. But I lost as a result of that on FanDuel. I hope you stuck with my Bassi lead, which I didn't stick with, except in like 20, 30% of lineups. Connect, I had in like 20 or 30% of lineups, so I did all right on a few. All right, so on to today's slate. I'll just get right into it. I don't agree with the take by one of my Council of Dudes, like, well, DK. He's one of the like top of the Council of Dudes guys. I'm almost an auto tail for him, but today I didn't get it. And I mean, like, I get the thesis where the Cavs played a lot of guys a lot of minutes last night, so they're gonna rest guys today. I get that, but I don't understand why the remaining guys would be expected to be leaned on heavily. Well, let me get into my take. So today we got two different things. There's the possibility that Cleveland is full go. You guys have hopefully seen all the news. Everybody in the New Orleans, Cleveland's gate. This is the first game of the year where we've got people literally pushing like roster availability. We've got 9 and 9 available, assuming Missy sits. So 9 is very few people, and you got to think about, are these a serious 9, or are they going to play 7? Are they going to play 6? Are they going to be really tight and weird with these rotations? Are we thinking that this is a full go game for the starters that are playing? Spida, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. If so, here's the circumstance. The top. You get them with pretty good minutes, 40 for Spida, 36 for Jared Allen Mobley. All of them look like great plays. Ty Jerome, CPJ, pretty good plays. Not as good as if they're resting everybody. Niang, probably a pretty good play. But everybody else is kind of fringe. You know, your Tristan Thompson, your Thor, your Jalen Tyson, your Travers, a little bit fringe in that circumstance. I've also noticed people are putting Jalen Tyson higher in the rotation than Thor, I think. I forget exactly where they're putting him, but that whatever. Now, what about the case where they start their regular starters, Spida, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley, but they're also resting because they're resting so many guys. They're going to rest everybody, right? Like they're not trying to rest half the team. They're trying to continue whatever streaks for people, give them qualifiers towards whatever teams, like all rookie, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to bet alt unders on these top three guys. And the reason is I think they will also rest. I think they won't play more than 24 minutes, 28 minutes, 30 minutes most. And so if the field's going to get on them for whatever reason, I'm not. I'm not going to be there. Where I will be, Ty Jerome, CPJ. CPJ greater than Ty Jerome, right? Because Ty Jerome played a lot of minutes yesterday as well, I think. So those two guys, though, are the top two ball handlers they're going to have. I don't know exactly where Jalen Tyson fits in. I'm going to have to figure out more now that people are projecting him in for minutes. But I think Travers, Thor, and Tristan Thompson are interesting, particularly Tristan Thompson and Travers. I, Thor is kind of poor point per minute, so like he has to get maybe 28 minutes to really be that guy. But I bring this up because we have a situation. The situation is the field is doing a thing. Let me zoom into the thing. It's on the other screen. The field only wants to play two of these guys. The field wants to play Craig Porter Jr. and Ty Jerome, who I will say are the two for sure going to hit value in either case, whether the dudes are fake playing or real playing. True. However, if the dudes are fake playing, they are not the best values on the slate. And in particular, you have a lot of really easy swaps, right? Look at these. Now, these ownerships probably won't stand. No, maybe it's not even true anymore. Let me see how recently has SaberSim stabilized. It's been a little while. I tried to wait long enough. 1147 was the most recent ownership. Let me just make sure we got the most recent ownership since I am about to comment on the ownership. But I think they're gonna be pretty low owned pieces here for Cleveland. And anybody today who is low owned for Cleveland is the smash play of the day. Anybody, not I'm not really counting these starters. I think that 13% for Donovan Mitchell. I think 3% for Jared Allen. No, not for me. I don't, not the way I see this playing out. I think they're for real. I mean, think about the game, right? They're 15-point favorites even with everybody resting, right? Like, let's look at line movement just to make sure. NBA line movement with all the news that came out, did the line get tighter or is the line still very, very wide? Let's have a look. Well, it started at 13 and a half and now it's wider. It's 14 with the news that everybody is resting. I mean, Ingram resting too, obviously, and all Trey Murphy resting. Everybody on the other side is resting as well. But my point is that we're not going to have a competitive game here by mutual agreement, by mutual consent. Both teams are resting every player. Do not get it twisted. This is not a competitive game. Neither team, oh, I'm sorry. One team wants to lose and the other doesn't care to win. You know what I mean? Cleveland is going to be given this game by the New Orleans Pelicans. That is the what we've agreed when Ingram and Trey Murphy sit. There's no I mean, no offense to Brandon Boston, who could score 60. He could score 60 in a loss today. No joke. Like for sure leave Brandon Boston in there. But he doesn't have enough help. There's not enough guys to add up to more than 100. 100's fine. That's with they got 100 with Brandon Boston scored 60. You know what I mean? Like they got nothing left on the other side of this. So what I'm pointing out is you just don't have to run Spida out there. You don't have to run these good players. Why would you do that? That's not what you're doing today. You're resting people. Anyway, so for me, I'm running my ladder case, and the ladder case says all these other guys are monster smashes. So I'm gonna be winning all the money or losing all the money today. I just have completely do not see this game the way the field is seeing it right now. So for me, like let's look at these leverages on in this game alone. Travers, oh, okay, 98%. I haven't looked at this yet. Have I actually run the no, I haven't run my contest sims. I'm on DraftKings today, by the way, because they have the $5 to 100K. I'm gonna follow it. Hey, if you guys are gonna compete like that, that's great. Let's compete. I'm gonna do the $3 on FanDuel and the $5 on DraftKings today. Because those are the best ones for me. But yeah, let's have a look. This is definitely the general sense of where I'm going to be today with leverage. I'm definitely not going to be under the field on Craig Porter Jr. I can tell you that much. Okay, good. Thank you. So Craig Porter Jr., Ty Jerome, great. You just don't. Number one, I'm not going to max. Well, with Ty Jerome, I'm kind of thinking they still have five guys who are crappier than Ty Jerome. You know what I mean? Like they could run Luke Travers, Jalen Tyson, Tristan Thompson, JT Thor, and Craig Porter, and they could close with them because they closed with Ty Jerome in a competitive game yesterday, and he did pretty good. So you might not do that today with him. So that's what I'm thinking with Ty Jerome here and limit him at 50%. And I'm actually going to limit him at 40% because I think that's a reasonable. He doesn't close in the blowout, and it's a blowout by mutual consent. So Ty Jerome is he's down here with the guys who play regularly, who are fadeable today for me. I'm fading every single one of these guys, including Ty Jerome a little bit now. Okay, but everybody who is not a regular player on Cleveland, I will be smashing. I will be playing them. They are my highest leverage plays of the slate. Travers, Tyson, Thompson, Craig Porter Jr., Thor. This is who I expect to be their garbage time lineup. And I expect them to play an amount of garbage time today that is large. I expect them to play 28 minutes of garbage time or so. That's what I'm imputing with these various rates. I do not think that Luke Travers is a tremendous point per minute person. That Tyson or I mean Tristan Thompson is a great point per minute person, but I don't think he can play 28 minutes. That's why I put him at 25. He's big. It's hard for our big body, to get going up the speed again. He's going to be very tired very fast. So I don't think he can actually handle it. I think we're going to have to soak up. He's still, who else? I mean, like they're not going to, I mean, maybe they do have to run out Jared Allen a little bit more just because Tristan Thompson cannot run more than 25 minutes. But still, was that 23 for Jared Allen? It's just not that many minutes. So anyway, this is my setup for this game. Besides this, so obviously these are all of my value plays for the slate. This is a little bit low ownership. Now that I'm looking at it. What does this add up to? 45, 80, 100, 160, 170, 210. So I have two Cleveland guys in every lineup. Okay, let's see what about the New Orleans side. Two Cleveland guys in every lineup on average, and New Orleans about one guy, Jamal Cain or JRE. I was a little surprised we don't see more. Yeah, I put Jemison. I boosted Jemison. I think Makovich is fine. I have limited Brandon Boston Jr. for the same reason I limited the good guys on the other team. I just don't think they can keep it competitive. Nobody wants them to keep it competitive. So I don't know if I can. can play. I mean, I guess I should play some. If he's 31%, I mean, are they playing him in blowouts? Boston Junior stats 38-30. He didn't get 38 in the last game. It wasn't a blowout though. Let's look at popcorn machine for an old New Orleans blowout. Let's look. Shouldn't have to look too far, I would imagine. There it is. Most recent blowout was yesterday. And did Brandon Boston Jr. close in the blowout? The answer is no. No, he did not. I do not expect him to close in the blowout today. So that's why I say the safe plays today are the guys who closed in the blowout. Also, Nowell is being projected so low today by everybody. I don't really get that. It's really too cute for me to be going there, but like, oh, he's out. Okay, well, so much for that. That is new. Also, I should probably pop over here to the NBA news situation. Up, 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 up. Make sure I haven't missed anything huge. Yeah. Oh, and did not notice that happen. Okay, well, I'm just going to assume they're right about that, even though I have not been able to confirm. But yeah, so Brandon Boston Jr. Well, with now all out, I'm gonna go ahead and click Brandon Boston Jr. They just don't got options. They don't where the body's gonna be. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Aye, aye, aye. They're down to eight, assuming Missy is out now. Oh, this slate is just crazy. I don't know what to do. There's so much value. Like, look at these two teams. These two teams, look at these numbers. You're gonna have to score 400 tonight. Easy, man. Like, you probably have to score 420. You're gonna have to score a lot of fantasy points tonight. These are for sure smash plays. By the way, I have no rules limiting the Cleveland and New Orleans exposure. My rules are Houston Stars Smash and Bulls Star Smash. Those are the guys who have to be limited. These guys, unlimited. However much you get to of whichever dudes. And wherever the ownerships are coming in zero here, dumbest of the slate. Don't understand at all, 0%. I mean, Tristan Thompson, 3,500. Okay. Okay. I'll give you, he's probably the worst of these scrub values just because he might not play very many minutes and is not the min. But we got JT Thor at the min, 0% owned. Dude could play 28 minutes today. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand what's going on with these ownerships. 5% for a guy like Jalen Tyson who's seen the floor at the end of blowouts anyway, right? Like, I ooh-wee. And JRE, I mean, I'm definitely on JRE train today. JRE can smash. He's great. He's a good big. Like if he's out there for minutes, he scored points. He's one of those guys. Just like Jemison, maybe that's what the move is for them today. Is a JRE Jemison fork? Because I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, Matkovich could be in there too. I haven't forced any Jemison yet. Okay. This is let's see, besides this one game, do I have any takes at all on this slate? No, I'm not gonna play that Josh, not that much Josh Giddey. What about 30%? He's fine as a solid piece. Same thing with Vooch, fine as a solid piece. Tyson, I don't want to be more than 25%. My weird bench play Tyson, because I'm not that. I mean, who knows if he even plays? I mean, probably will, but they have nine people or whatever. They could go that one direction where he doesn't play, right? It was one of my possibilities was they ride Donovan Mitchell really hard, which seems nuts to me. I would never do it, and I would probably fire any coach who did if I were a general manager. But I tell you what, nobody ever does do what I would do as a general manager, so don't follow that. All right, Craig Porter Jr., Jamal Cain, great plays. Travers, absolutely love it. This dude just gonna get a ton of peripheral stats while he's on the floor, and jack up shots. I love it. He don't want to be 50%. No, he's just a solid piece today, right? I mean, I don't want to. Here's the thing. At this time of day, I'm not going to start limiting Cleveland pieces because later in the day, we're going to get starters. And the starters, if we get the all bench starters, we're going to see DNPs for the three guys. You know what I mean? This is a possibility. Let me just draw this out for you because this is the only interesting thing. The rest of the slates are really kind of boring. Like there's nothing new at all. This is so new. This is very interesting. So I'm going to delve into it one more time. If you see starters today, of Jalen Tyson, JT Thor, Travers, Tristan Thompson, and Craig Porter Jr., if Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, and Donovan Mitchell do not start today, don't play them. They're DNPing. They're doing the thing where they have eight technically active bodies and are playing six. They could do that today because they have nine, but those three guys could rest, and then they're playing six. So it's possible. And I mean, I think Niang also wouldn't go more than 30 minutes. So I think you're going to see like 40 plus minutes for these absolute garbo bombs in the case that you get them as starters. And that's like, and they could still be New Orleans. You know what I mean? Like, now, I have already said I don't think Tristan Thompson can do it physically. That's why I think Allen has to be active. And then Evan Mobley, maybe there's a similar concern with Thor handling 40 minutes, but there's not a concern with the other guys. So let's see. But yeah, that's my I know how I lose today. I know how I win or lose, and I'll know it real early. It's the first game, so it's not a late news slate for me. Although I guess there is this. So of guys in the late game, let me look at by leverage. I'm sure I do have some of these late game guys too, because Franz Wagner is one of my strong stands of the slate. I think he's undervalued still. Harden is one of my strong stands positively of the slate. I think he's undervalued still. Zubats is a strong stand positively. I think he's undervalued still. People are not giving these guys appropriate minutes. But I mean, you just can't get to that much of them today because you got to do the best plays, right? I mean, it's a Giannis slate. 65% Giannis. I don't know who said that. Giannis, if you can get him 100% lineups today, put him in 100% lineups. Who cares? 95%? Yeah, 98%. He's against Chicago. Chicago's the fastest paced team. He's the highest scoring player on the slate, and it's not close. So for me, the amount of Giannis I don't have today is the amount of foul trouble or injury news. Like he gets hurt in the game. So 5% chance of foul trouble against Chicago, 10%. I can see myself to 85%. Giannis is a limit that's like not terrible, but eh, I cannot understand why the field is only 40% Giannis with infinite value. Giannis is just a plug and play. There's no one else who's going to give you a raw point thing like Giannis today, and that's all it's about. So you need 100% Giannis. I mean, minus whatever injury or foul trouble percent. If he gets regular minutes, Giannis smash over. I mean, he didn't do it one time this year. So 10% chance that he just doesn't get there just by being bad one time. Just so unlikely. I can't even really give lip service to that. But the other guys up at the top, I've already talked about, right? Craig Porter Jr., Jamal Cain, Luke Travers, Ty Jerome. Then we get to Sengun. Sengun, undervalued. I have all these Houston guys in a rule, all these Chicago guys in a rule. So basically, that's it. Yeah. For my top guys, I'm mostly going with the guys in rules. And that makes sense to me. Those guys are all being undervalued and underowned. Not all underowned, but like Giddy's underowned. 20% Cat is ridiculous today with infinite value. I mean, what? I don't get that. I might have to put him higher. I think I have to. Like raw points, you got to consider raw points today. Cat has a ridiculous raw point ceiling this year. He has a raw point ceiling that's out of control. Now, on FanDuel, I've unclicked all the Oklahoma City guys because I expect a blowout, and they're one of the teams that's the best at pulling people in a blowout. I might do that here too. I don't want to wind up with like Williams. They're just not going to play. There's no way this game stays close. They're a better team than Portland by a lot, by not 10, by like 15 or 20. It's not close. So I'm unclicking them here too. But yeah, up at the top, besides that, I just don't think he has the raw point ceiling today. So you need all of them. Oh yeah, and Trae Young, I don't really feel comfortable being at 0% Trae Young. But I mean, that game is another one where but if it does stay close, it's because of Trae Young, right? I mean, well, let's let that be about the Jalen Johnson news. I think Trae Young with Jalen Johnson can maybe get it done. I don't think I'm gonna have either one of them if Jalen Johnson is out. I don't think Trae can get it done by himself. I mean, if he did, it would be in a weird shootout versus Curry where Curry doesn't get there. I can't go to this weird hypotheticals. Giannis smash, Karl Anthony Towns smash, take some shots on the shooters, Sengun smash, Vooch smash. Levine smash, Siakam smash. Did I do any more like messing around with these projections? You can kind of see how I got the guys at various levels. Cat is on his own level. Giannis is on his own level. But then you got Harden, Franz, Steph about on one level that's slightly above Vooch, Brunson, and Book and Sengun. And that's just how I see those dudes right now. Doesn't really have to do with rates and stuff. Same thing with these guys all at 38. Giddy, Suggs, White, Green, Benny Math, those guys have about the same median. It's about 38. So that's why I put them all at exactly the same median. It's 38. I'm gonna have no Spida based on my take there. Yeah, you know the rule. I already mentioned all this. I have boosted Tyus Jones and still get none of him. So welcome to perennial Tyus Jones fan club. But yeah, I think I'm comfortable with where this is getting me to. That's too much Travers. It's how many dudes are there? There's like six dudes vying for two spots, so the probability is like a third that any one dude gets there. So 35% that a random dude get there. We gotta have the max for all these random Cleveland values be about 35%, which includes probably, well, that's the thing. Craig Porter Jr. is not random. He can be 100%. Giannis, that's getting a bit high. We'll have to rebuild. But for now, we're gonna move on to FanDuel, see if we got anything different here. I haven't run the contest sim, and I'm not playing very much there. So we'll see my level of interest in doing this. Run contest sim. Craig Porter Jr., smash. Ty Jerome, smash. Giannis, smash. Jonathan Isaac, that's the other one. I've been boosting him on both sites, but I think it's more relevant on FanDuel. If he gets 5 extra minutes on FanDuel, I mean, you like what Dyson Daniels was doing, right? I mean, this is the guy that can do the same stuff. Right? He can get 5 stocks in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? He's a ridiculous player. And so make sure you have some Jonathan Isaac. Now, 60% Jonathan Isaac, no thanks. I'll have 40% max because I'm playing 5 lineups on right now. See if it goes more. Probably not. It's just not that interesting of a. I want to skew my attention too much away from the DraftKings one today because it's 10,000 versus 100,000. It's 10 times more attention. You know what I mean? Okay, can't justify it. Huh, that's really right. Okay. Don't see anything else to really remark on. On the FanDuel side of things, similar values, similar ownerships. Nobody wants Tristan Thompson. I also don't because of the fan. So like the scrub values look worse on FanDuel, just the higher price, right? Just like the same reason Tristan Thompson looks worse than the other guys on regular DraftKings is the 3,500 versus 3,000. Well, that's always true, right? The $500 matters a lot. That's like on 3,000, 500 is mental math, 16%, 17%. So it's you have to have more points to have it pay off. So it's not surprising. We're going to the more obvious values on FanDuel, and that's pretty much it. So let me just end by saying you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. It might as well be the Cavs.